So here we are with Jens Christensen from the winning team of the first annual epic race, Michigan Adventure Racing Epic Race, and Michelle Green from the winning female team. We're looking at the Pickerel Lake section now and want to talk a little bit about navigation. It seems like relatively straightforward terrain, but once again, I heard there were a lot of extra trails out there, which may have caused a lot of people to pause, maybe take longer than they should have because they're trying to figure out trails. So even going to 14, Jens, why don't you tell us your experience going to 14?
So we left conventionally on the boardwalk here and then worked our way around, and then we turned the corner. We started to find trails going extra ways, but then we're like, what are we doing worrying about the trails? We're trying to figure this out, but we see that we're next to water, we're next to more water, and I swear we can start to see this already. So why worry about the trails? Just go to the features you know. That was what we did. So when we saw this, we just moved towards it, didn't care what trail it was on, came around and went to it.
I think that's a great lesson. When there's lots of trails on there and you're not really sure about them, use features. Matter of fact, features should be your primary navigation source, and trails should be more of the backup to them as you're traveling along trails if you do use trails. So this section, it looks like the first real opportunity to go off trails if you weren't using the trails. Besides that is 15 to 16, or of course getting to 15, but 15 to 16 you have choice of getting on trail and using trails to get around there, or just kind of bushwhacking straight through the woods. What did you see and what did you do?
Well, for us, our 15 to 16 starts by going to 14 because we leave to 15 because we leave 14, we go up to the trail, and then my idea is I'll go to this re-entrant, which I know isn't the right one, but it'll set me up to make sure I get in the right one and I'm not in the wrong one when I start looking around for it. So as we leave 14, we get into this wrong first re-entrant, but we acquire an extra solo team, and he's with us to 15, and now I'm thinking, I don't know if what he's got. I don't want to give him any more than I have to as far as help in the 16. So I figure whatever he does here, he starts to take the trail. The woods look nice. I'm just going to stay high because I don't have to climb back up the re-entrant. And then plus I don't give him any assistance as he comes around here. So we went up, and it's very easy because especially daylight, you can see the water. So you just know you're following it around, watch the water, follow around. You can check your compass to make sure, it should be coming up here. And you can see this is a very soft, and with this re-entrant, it looks like it's going to be a quite a steep one with as close to the lines are. So when we came out here, the only problem with our strategy is we didn't know if we hit it high or low. So we got to it, and I'm not exactly sure where we came out, but we ended up walking most of the way to the top where there's a couple smaller ones coming together, and then we knew we were at the right one, so we walked back down and then picked it up. And the solo had joined us by then from coming up here as well.
Great. Michelle, how did you attack it?
Well, actually, I was glad to hear the way that you attacked 14 and 15 because we were actually on this trail with Barbara and Crystal, and I decided to leave it right around here as well and pretty much do the same exact thing you did. So that pleases me to hear that I had that same route choice. Partly because I wanted to get off the trails. Trails really can get frustrating. Also because, for me, it seemed like an obvious feature to follow north that ridge, and you're looking for the re-entrant. I was actually up on top of it though, so by the time I came back down to it, Barbara and Crystal were coming up it and had pegged it slightly before, so I was kind of bummed because they had, using the trail and following this water feature, had gotten it before us. But again, I think that's because when I came up here, I came up just up above it instead of staying. In hindsight, I probably should have stayed more center, right?
Sure.
On the ridge.
Halfway up the hill, yeah.
Halfway up the hill, not on top of the hill. And we essentially came to the top and then had to come back down to it. So that was great, though, to hear that I had the same route choices. I had the same route choice as the winning navigator.
Bob, up from 15 to 16. Did you take trail or go?
We did end up taking trail. We just sort of bailed out, came here, and did end up taking trail. This was really obvious from the trail. So at that point, that one seemed more obvious to me.
Like an easy attack point.
Yeah, it did.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.